Joining us now on Gangs All Here podcast is one of the best cornerbacks to ever do it, a first-round pick by the Jets in 2007 out of Pittsburgh, playing 8 seasons with Gang Green from 2007 through 2012, and then coming back in 2015 and 2016. He won a Super Bowl with another team in the division that I won't name, and he's a member of the 2010s All-Decade team. And on MetLife, and at Sunday at MetLife Stadium, he becomes a member of the Jets Ring of Honor. His next membership will be into Canton after that at the Pro Football Hall of Fame, we suppose. It's cold, Kaz, so let's take a trip somewhere hotter. How about Revis Island? Let's welcome in number 24, Darrelle Revis. Darrelle, welcome to Gangs All Here. Jake Brown, Brian Costello. How are you? How's post NFL life treating you?
I'm well. Thanks for having me on the show. And post life is retirement is fine. I'm just making my adjustments as I go. I'm dabbling into a lot of business ventures, into art, collecting art, into real estate. So it's another learning curve. It's not football terminology, but I'm having fun with it. I have great partners, and we're going to continue to do great business.
Darrelle, I met you once, spoke to you once, and it was 2015, days after the Jets beat the Patriots. I'll show you the picture because it looks like a different person. I've had quite the glow up since then. I had hair. You took me through a lot of my memories from college, graduating high school as a Jet fan, losing my virginity. I lost my virginity. I lost my virginity.
Much information.
The week we lost in the AFC Championship game, I remember because it was a week before I turned 19. So a lot of childhood memories. You remember that game? I mean, this show's airing after the Jets-Patriots game, but you remember that overtime thriller and beating the Pats? Because it's been 7 years since it's happened.
Yes, I have. It was a memorable moment, not only for the organization, but for us as a team. And, I think we stacked up pretty well against the Patriots that game. And it was a lot of electric energy going on, and I remember I was just so excited to just see Ryan throw the ball to Eric Decker to actually seal the game. And I maybe it's a clip out there on me celebrating, or I don't know what I did at the time, but it's always good to beat the Patriots, being playing in the Gang Green. So.
I was looking, Darrelle, the numbers from that year from 15. I forgot you had 5 interceptions that year when you came back here. What was that season like for you coming back, and then kind of you guys hit sort of a magic ride there with Fitz and Brandon Marshall and the defense playing at a high level? What was that year like for you?
I think it was great. I think on all cylinders we were on the offensive side, we were clicking. On the defensive side, we were clicking. Special teams was doing pretty well as well. So, for us, I think a lot of us had a lot of record breaking seasons. I think Brandon, he had the most receiving yards. Ryan Fitzpatrick, I think he was breaking some records here or there.
Yeah.
So no, it was really awesome to see, everybody on the team just, even though collectively we're playing together, but individual accolades were there, part of that team too. So I just think it was a great group of guys.
When I spoke to you in that picture, when I looked like I was in a boy band, you were getting in the ride of fame. You had your own bus that day. They gave you a bus. You got your own bus around New York City with your face on it. Now you're going to the Ring of Honor, which is a pretty big deal. And the next stop we expect to be Canton. Do you have your speech ready? Will there be tears shed? What are you expecting on Sunday at halftime?
I have no clue. I really don't, and I'm gonna take this with stride, and just try to enjoy the best I can. I am excited, but also there's a lot of butterflies of being recognized is one of the best, and the hard work and dedication that you just put into this. I just think this is a honor that guys receive, and I'm happy, I'm humble for it, and I appreciate that the organization is allowing me to be in the Ring of Honor with all the other greats. So,
Darrelle, just watching you through the years in training camp and season, Jake, no one ever practiced harder than Darrelle like that. Like I've told people that a million times. It was like crazy to watch him practice. Where did that drive come from, Darrelle? Like where did that who put that, instilled that in you, and where did it come from? You know, coming out of Aliquippa to this, you were always so driven and with everything you did.
And, you know, I really believe just coming from a steel mill town and, you know, blue collars, very hard nosed, tough people, tough neighborhood, tough community. You know, we really love football. We love sports. We're diehard fans of the game itself. And I mean, you know, as a family, if you're watching, you know, football, the entire family is watching it, right? So even the women are partaking to watch the game. So, um, you know, for me, you know, when you see this growing up, you know, you kind of say, wow, this is a part of my family dynamic and my identity. So for me, I just think the passion has always come from just seeing, you know, relatives around me, people around me, and then also being able to watch games and watch some of the greatest players play on television, and just I guess gravitating to it, and then really looking at it and say, okay, what type of player am I going to be? And I just think for me, when you talk about practice, it's just really being so you know, ultra competitive and not allowing a catch, you know, even at practice, let alone be in the game. So on Sunday, so it's just for me, it's just I just took that on and I made that my DNA. I made it who I am. So
Boy, I
You're for,
remember Patrick Turner, Darrelle. That story comes to mind. Like Darrelle would also not just practice hard; he made sure the guy across from him
yeah.
did everything right. Like, and he was going against Patrick Turner, practice squad receiver, wasn't doing what he was supposed to do, and Darrelle kind of let him know
My bad, Patrick. You know, I had to do it. I had to do my job. So
it.
Darrelle, you're 4 years removed from retiring now. Could you see yourself playing in today's game? And are you in the shape to play if someone said we badly need a cornerback, or you know, we're 6 guys deep, some guys are hurt? Could you come back and play today?
uh, no, at this age, no. But you know, if I were to be drafted, you know, around this era, this time, yeah, for sure. I think some of the greatest players in this game can play it in any era, and it's just really a matter of um, you know what era you're in and what you're playing in. But I wholeheartedly I believe that you know players can play at any level. The game just seems a little bit more fun now in a lot of ways. I think technology and a lot of things that take place with the game, and there's so much media outlets and feeds that you can, you know, I try to pick up on certain things when it comes to the games and whatnot, and clips and stats. So for me, it's really fun and interesting. But yeah, I can't at 37. You know, I don't
It's not that old.
put on
I
a
mean,
few pounds. I put on a few pounds. I probably look like a linebacker at this point.
position change, Kaz. Put him at linebacker.
Yeah, it's I Darrelle, the I remember when after Eric Mangini got fired here in your second year, I remember going down to Baltimore and talking to Rex, and he was up for the job, and he was pumping me for information about the team and stuff. And I just remember him going, "Well, I know number 24. I know what I got there if I get the job." What did Rex come in here? What did that do for you? And just that first season, that 2009 season, was just off the charts. That you should have been the defensive player of the year that year. What kind of playing in Rex's system? What did that do for you? And just kind of how nice was that marriage between you and Rex?
It was, you know, our relationship was very close. Um, we would have a lot of conversations one on one. You know, obviously in his office and throughout the building itself. He would pull me to the side all the time, and we've always had that good banter and camaraderie. I think Rex coming from, the Baltimore Ravens and as a defensive coordinator and, him coaching some of the best defensive players, in the game, Ray Lewis, Ed Reed. I mean, Bart Scott as well. I mean, there's so many other guys that I can name, but those two stand out. And Rex, believed and felt that I was able to be, in that category with an Ed Reed or a Ray Lewis. So, I took that challenge on. I think that was, my rookie year was with Eric Mangini, and my second year, and we brought Brett Favre in, and it was that was a great. It started off great, right, and then
Yeah.
it didn't go so
The
great.
ending wasn't so good.
Yeah, the ending wasn't too good, but you know, at that point, as being a second player in the league, second year player in the league, and not really knowing my ceiling as a player, as an athlete. I didn't know that a coach can come in and kind of highlight my skill set much more in a way. And it was like playing chess for Rex. He would put me in certain, uncomfortable situations where I rose to the challenge and raise my hand and say, Rex, if this is what we have to do as a defense to win and compete, then this is what we have to do. So I was up for the challenge. So I appreciate Rex allowing me to let my skill set evolve as I became a more savvier player.
You played for Mangini, Rexiano, Belichick, Bowles, and Andy Reid. Was Rex the best coach, or at least the coach that you got along with the most, that made you the best player? Was he the best defensive coach, best coach you got along with, or was it someone else?
I think all the coaches that I played under are obviously great coaches and Hall of Fame coaches. For me, I just I think the bond that me and Rex had is probably one I never even I never had in a sense. So that is a little bit more special than I would say most other coaches I played under. But that was a time where I was in my prime. There was a window of opportunity, and Rex was able to see that window of opportunity for us as a team. And he put me in situations where I really had to, I had to learn a lot of things. I have to learn that like Rex, don't take me out of practice. Like I love to practice, and he would sit there and pull me to the side, and more so of being a coach. He was there to be a friend and say, if you continue to go on this trajectory that you're going on, it will shorten your career in a lot of ways. And overall, it really did overall anyway. So at the time, it's hard to listen. It's hard to listen. It's hard for a player to kind of, when you're going on that type of trajectory, it's hard to stop a player and get them to turn and say, huh? And listen. It's very difficult. I mean, we've seen it throughout sports itself. We've seen Kobe Bryant do it. We've seen a lot of guys do it. So for me, it was I had a coach, but I also had a friend that could sit there and say, you can't practice this week because we need to rest your legs. Your percentage of playing man coverage is so much and it's so intense, and your body's able to hold up, but eventually it's not going to hold up. And so that's why I say Rex is, it doesn't matter what coach is better or not, or championships or not. I just think Rex Ryan was a coach, and also he was a friend.
Darrelle, when you tore your ACL in 12 and you're coming off of that, and the Jets are going through a turmoil, new GM, John Idzik comes in. Did you think you ever had a chance of staying here, or do you think he had his mind made up that he was trading you? And just kind of what was that time like for you when you knew you were going to probably be going somewhere else?
There was a lot of speculation about me being traded. So at that point, once the news was out there, I kind of figured that it was a 50-50 chance, of me being traded. or actual stand on the team. Obviously, I had the ACL tear, and I don't know. Maybe people in the building felt that I wasn't going to be the same caliber player of having a season-ending knee injury. So there's no question to it. There could have been half doubt, could have not been. But at the end of the day, I was traded, and that's how I had to look at it. You know what I'm saying? At the time, was I 100%? You know that? No, I was
Yeah.
still rehabbing.
Yeah.
I was still trying to make the organization believe that I could still be a part of the winning process and the winning culture we're trying to build here. But those things are out of my hand, and I don't make those calls. But did I want to go to Tampa? No, no. I didn't. But at the same time, those were the cards that was dealt, for me at the time, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they did well by me when it came into training room and the staff and making sure my knee got to 100%. So overall, no, I would have loved to stay. Trust me, I would have loved to stay. And there was a lot of things. There were things like, well, he's in his last year of his deal. Is he going to come back and ask for $1 zillion? And it was like, at this point, I don't have any much leverage, so I have to obviously prove myself, once again that, I'm worth it, or whatever you want to say. But that was really it for me. I understood the options that I had, and those were the cards that was dealt for me at the time.
And I mean, you were so good that even off a torn ACL at the time, you got the highest paid contract in defensive history, which is pretty incredible. But did you miss that kind of spotlight and the pressure? You've talked in the past about how Tampa, there wasn't pressure like that. Like you said, you didn't want to leave the Jets. Did you want to be a Jet for life? And did you want to be under that New York spotlight, that New York pressure where everything's bigger and better?
I think, where, for me, my loyalty lies with, whatever team drafted me, and that was the New York Jets, So for me, I just felt that this was home, away from home. So, I never really looked at it, you know, as, a spotlight thing for me, I mean, at the end of the day, it's tough love here, and I understand that, but I felt like the city has embraced me as a player. I embraced the city back. And constructive criticism for me has always been a part of my life, and that always started with my mother, in a sense, making sure I can fulfill my dream and chase my dream, instead of being on a street corner or getting caught in a situation where I can't fulfill my dream. So when it came to coaching, I was very coachable in any way, shape, or form to execute and do that. But for me, it wasn't. It was just more so of just trying to bring a second championship to the New York Jets, and that was always on my mindset. So,
just last one for me, Darrelle. Couple months, they'll be voting on the Hall of Fame for you, and I think I would expect you're going to get in. Have you allowed yourself to think about that at all? And just kind of, we talked about the Ring of Honor. The next level's Canton, right? Like there's not that many guys that ever played this game that are in that. Have you let yourself think about that at all? What it would mean to you?
Oh, it would mean the world, to me, in the sense of just, the ups and downs, the scars, the good times, the highs, the lows, really coming to an organization and just trying to just have a winning culture around here and win big. So for me, these are individual accolades, obviously, and my thing for me is I just try to do the best I can, to be the best player I can be, and it just happened to be in New York City and playing under a microscope and playing at a very, very high level. So, it's all surreal. I'm just taking one day at a time. I'm excited about the Jets Ring of Honor, um, to even be acknowledged with some of the greats that's already in the honor, Ring of Honor, and you know, come Canton time, and the list reduces, and the voters do a great job at picking the guys for this class, this upcoming class. Hopefully, I would love to see my name, in that group of guys and in that class. So, and it's not only just for me; it's just what I represent. It's what comes behind that. It comes with a legacy of playing in the New York Jets, and just getting the opportunity to showcase my skill and talents.
A couple more minutes with Darrelle Revis going to the Ring of Honor. Go to the game, get your tickets. Jets Bears. The boys are hot, and you got to be there on Sunday to see Darrelle at halftime. A guy who could be in the Ring of Honor one day with the way he's playing is Sauce Gardner, getting comparisons to you pretty quickly, and you're regarded as the greatest cornerback in Jets history. But what do you think about Sauce? Does it compare to you at all? Like, what do you think of his game as a cornerback? And you must enjoy watching this kid.
Yeah, I think what I've heard, and I was able to see him out at practice today a little bit. Seen a little film because I'm not glued every Sunday to everything, but some clips you see is great. I think he can be a great corner in his league. He's already on that track to do that. I believe there's a lot of work for him to do, and to actually continue this on. I mean, stringing along, year after year, to play at a high level and consistently. For us athletes, sometimes you get around certain guys and they got the it factor, and I do see that in Sauce. So it's there. It's all there. It's just really for him to really continue to check off his list of goals of what he wants to do. We would love to have him in the Jets Ring of Honor one day, and looking forward to it because we're pushing. We want him to push the envelope, and push what greatness is. That's what we want. So we all love the game. We want to see everybody do well and excel at a high level. So for him to be a New York Jet great is awesome for us. It really is.
Do you plan on speaking with him at all soon, or have you already?
I mean, for me personally, like, again, it's like, I'm not going to be in, when I played, it wasn't a lot of people in my ear. It's just, you got to let guys evolve because he does, have so much on his plate. Even just the pressure side of it, of playing at a high level week to week. So, for me, man, it's just building a relationship organically and naturally, and letting it just evolve from there. I mean, if you get an interception, it's no different than other interceptions. It's all the same. It's just, if there's little tips or little things to help anybody's game evolve, I'm always here. My door's always open, but at the same time, he has a style, the way he plays, and he's a very confident player, and you can see that in his play.
You could see that in his drip too. I mean, the ice, Darrelle. I want you on Ring of Honor Sunday to be rocking a chain like he has. You got any of those in the closet?
I think that time might have passed me, but I like his drip. I like his sauce. I like everything that he brings to the table because it seems like he's willing to back up any hype or anything that comes with it, and accept that challenge. That's what I love to see.
All right, Darrelle Revis getting in the Jets Ring of Honor Sunday against the Bears. Go see it. Congrats to you in the Ring of Honor. Congrats to your daughter on the National Honor Society. You must be a proud papa. And we're looking forward to seeing you. Thanks for coming on Gangs All Here, Darrelle Revis. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Darrelle.
Thank you.